zone. He's got Simpkins. Ball in for the touchdown. Deshaun Simpkins with the snag.
Looking left to Sims Marshall. Home run down for Jalen Marshall. He's got a touchdown.
On tap is this big game here in the top 10 between Lakota West and Princeton. Along with the rookie Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Plus. Geoff, a big win, and they've all been big wins for the scoring output for Princeton here this season.
Absolutely. All starts with the quarterback, Geoff, TJ Engelman. Over 1,000 all-purpose yards so far on offense for him this year. If you're Lakota West, you can't just contain him. You got to figure out a way to shut him down completely. He's a true dual-threat quarterback for Princeton tonight.
On the other side for Lakota West, after dropping the season opener to St. X, they've spun off 2 in a row. What do they need to do tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what, they need to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. And it all starts with their quarterback, Mitch Bolden, man. I'll tell you what, he puts the money on the ball. He puts the ball placement in places where the receivers just go up and simply grab it out of the air. Really interesting what he does, and against this tough Princeton defense.
Starting lineups in the opening game when we return here on Chatterbox Plus. Mere moments away from the start of this one here at Beckett Ridge over at Lakota West High School. Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Live. The game, feature game here in the AP Top 10. But, you know, before we get into that, some frivolity here, if you will. We got a chance to catch up with Tom Bolden a week ago, and we talked of all things a little bit about salt and pepper in the hair.
I come home the other day, or she came home from shopping, and she had beard dye and hair dye. So, I mean, you can't get any more obvious than that, right? So I'm I'm in the resistance, but then I'm looking at some pictures. I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting gray. So I blame it on the kids, the players.
You know, I'm glad that you brought up the hair, because one of the things I did want to talk to you about, and, you know, usually when you and I get to see each other at a game, it's more of a cursory, hello, here's what's going on.
Yeah.
Here we get a little bit more of a long form. I miss the mullet.
You know, it's funny. There are a lot of people asking me, where's the long hair? Listen, my wife well, here's the thing. I told my wife the other day, I said, since the COVID, unfortunately, is coming back, maybe I have to go back to the COVID hair. But I don't think I'm going to win. I don't know if I'm going to win that battle. But, yeah, I liked the flow. That was I ain't going to lie. I was just happy I could grow it like that again. You never know. I mean, I might decide to do it again. Who knows?
And how about that? He might go back to the hairdo, the flow, as it were. And we're hoping to see that. Obviously, he's well-groomed these days. As we bring back Kevin Zilch into this broadcast, time now to zero in with Zilch. Share it to your keys to the ball game.
You know, keys to the ball game, you know, huge game here tonight. 2 top 10 teams in the state for Princeton. You got to figure out the penalties, Geoff. 49 total penalties on the year, 433 total penalty yards alone this year. 15 penalties last week against Dublin Coffin. I'll tell you what, you're not going to get anywhere, especially against Lakota West here tonight, by committing penalties. Then you got to start fast if you're Princeton. Only 35 points so far in the first quarter. A majority of those came against Loveland in week 2, where they scored 28. They have 83 points, though, so far this year in the second quarter. What that tells me, they got to get off to a hot start in the first quarter on offense if they want to keep up with this Lakota West and all their weapons that they have. And then the other biggest key on defense for them is they got to be able to keep the Lakota West offense off the field. What that means is it's probably something that they're not really accustomed to so far this year. That's long sustained drives and winning the time of possession if you're on offense for Princeton. For Lakota West, really simple. You got to stop the Princeton quarterback, TJ Engelman. He has 601 yards through the air, 470 yards on the ground this year. A true dual threat. We talked about in the pregame, you cannot just contain him. You have to figure out a way to stop him if you're on defense for Lakota West. Take advantage of the mistakes is my second key to the game for the Firebirds tonight. Capitalize off those penalties. Hey, if they're going to give you free yards, capitalize off those. Make it worth your while when you're out there. And then get the ball in the hands of the playmakers. Cameron Bodie, Jair Brown, Ben Minnick, get the ball in your playmakers' hands tonight and distribute the ball out amongst those. It'll be highly successful for Lakota West.
as we are waiting for the emergence of the Firebirds. They do have the banner waiting for us and waiting for the team to explode out of the locker room. As you see that on your screen, they're about ready to go. One of those favorite moments, and especially we've seen them, the last few years as we've been doing this, but even more so tonight, full house here in Beckett Ridge. And we're on the eve of 9/11, a sad 20-year anniversary. We had a very nice speech at the very beginning of our pregame presentation coming on in. Of course, a very well done national anthem by the marching Firebirds under the direction of Andrew Carr. And we're still waiting for, obviously, as you can see on your screen on the right part of it, the emergence of the Firebirds to get onto the field. They'll be in the home blacks tonight with the scarlet trim and numerals. That'll be the white uniforms tonight for Princeton. And here come the Firebirds. Coming into this ball game, Lakota West is 1-0 in the conference. They're 2-1. Their head coach, of course, is third-year skipper Tom Bolden, who has also compiled quite a record over at Coleraine before coming on over here. In his third year at 17-6, 15 years overall, 149-27. Andre Parker for the 3-0 Princeton Vikings is on the other side in his first year after coming on over from Princeton, where he'd spent a better part of a decade. And partner, you had faced him a number of times when you were over at Loveland. What can we expect tonight from Coach Parker?
One thing I always noticed about Coach Parker's team is they were actually very well-disciplined football teams. We went to battle on them. 2012 to 2013 campaign against Winton Woods. It was a 7-6 ball game that we were honestly lucky to win that game, Jeff. So he's a very disciplined coach. We talked to him before the game. What I love what he said, listen, we're treating this just like any other game. All right, you can put the rankings out there, you can put all the hype, but again, it's a 100-yard football field, and we both have to play on it. So, I really liked his perspective. He's trying to keep this really low-key tonight, not get the kids too jiled up about all the different accolades that go with this game. Keep them focused on what their job is, and then to do that job.
Our twin producers tonight, Zach Teeters and Kevin Miller, my favorite twins. We missed you last week. Our videographers tonight, Alex McClary and Maddie Morse, who did such a fine job for us in week 2. We had lobbied very hard with Chatterbox to get those videographers back, and so they're back in the building with us here this evening. Obviously, great conditions from a weather standpoint. Game time temperature 76 degrees, a slight breeze to the north. 48% humidity. Now, what does that mean, partner? It means it's going to be a little warm, especially with the setting sun. But when the sun goes down, we will have a very pleasant evening.
Absolutely. Working on my tan right now, Jeff. I don't know if you can tell that with this sun right in our eyes. But, what a night we're going to have here. Hopefully the sun goes down, cool off a little bit, and perfect night for some top high school football in the state. Here we go, Jeff.
John Sagers is the referee tonight. Mike Lind is the umpire. And the linesmen that'll join them, Doug Nicholas, Bernard Bouchard, and Jim Joush. And do we have both bands out here this evening? And we appear to. So Princeton has brought the Marching Vikings on one side, and I believe they're on the south end. And on the north end, we see the Marching Firebirds, as we had mentioned, who had the nation's anthem tonight. Again, as we had mentioned, the black uniforms tonight with the scarlet trim and numerals for the home team, and the other side it's the white uniforms with the red numerals and trim for the visiting Vikings. Their quarterback will be TJ Engelman, and you and I will get a chance to talk a lot about him, a lot of stuff to talk about. Young TJ Engelman, who's 5'8", 160 pounds, a sophomore, but don't let the lack of size fool you. He has been outstanding.
Oh, unbelievable, considering last year he was literally running the freshman squad for Princeton. This year comes in, really doesn't expect to start, gets the starting nod, about a couple of days before the first game, and then just rattles off. He's 28 of 42 through the air, 600 yards. Right now he's got a 240 passing rate, 8 throwing touchdowns on the year. Really excited to see what he's going to do here tonight.
Lakota West will attack the north end zone. They'll get the ball first to open up this ball game. We can tell you that but even before the kickoff, their quarterback is Mitch Bolden, or Money Mitch, if you will, 6'2", 190 pounds, a junior. We'll talk more about the offense as we progress through the opening drive here, and as well as the starting defense for the Princeton Vikings. A little bit of a protracted start tonight, but not as protracted as the one we had 2 weeks ago here in this ballpark.
Yeah, that was pretty wild with the weather. 90-minute weather delay, but crystal blue skies here tonight in Becker Ridge for this one.
And away we go here in Westchester Township from the 10. 15, return man to the 20, up the middle, nearly had a seamer, broke it out to the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 to start things off here for Money Mitch and his crew. Up front, it'll be Tegra Shabola, Eric Cifuentes, Tony Curtis is the center, Caden Fletcher at the right guard, and Lathan McComas is the right tackle. Cameron Good will line up behind or with Mitch Bolden. Jair Brown, Brennan Ramey, and Ben Minnick fill out the wide receiving core, and the tight end in this lineup is Anderson Simpson. We'll give you the defense here in just a moment here. 1st and 10, starting at the 28-yard line. Mitch will pass on 1st down. The home run to Minnick! Out of the 40 to the 35 to the 30, inside the 30 to the 25. So they go razzle-dazzle on the first play, 47 yards.
Nice offensive line protection there by the offense for Lakota West. Another great job by Ben Minnick, who's an outstanding track player, just running right by the defense.
So razzle-dazzle on the first play. And it's 1st and 10 at the 23. So one of the things that Tom Bolden wanted was a strike first, and that's what they've done so far. And they go double, and they pitch it to Alex Afari. He cuts to the middle, across the 20, down towards the 15, down towards the 10-yard line as we enter the Cincinnati Reds red zone for the first time this evening. And tonight, they're on the road. They're in St. Louis. Tyler Molly against John Lester, an 8:15 start, but we hope that you stick around with us here for a little while. So 2nd, and we'll call it 1 after the 9-yard run by Alex Afari, who's a bit of an athlete. He'll line up in the slot. He will run the Wildcat. It's Bolden on 2nd down, calling for it. And they motion a man again. Is it Afari again? So he comes right, looking for the angle, hurls a man, and is dropped out about the 12-yard line as he is dropped out there by 21. 21 is Chris Gillum.
Seemed to be the same play, just to the other side there again. That little quick pitch just couldn't quite get the edge. Good job by Princeton on contain there.
The starting defense up front. Front 3 is Marquise Humphrey Grace, Ty Carter, and Dante Flanagan. The linebackers, 4 of them, Anas Lokman, AJ Nunley, Jalen Stoker, and Chris Gillum, who we just mentioned. We'll give you the defensive backs in a moment. Mishandle on the snap, back to Bolden, and he'll be dropped for a loss. The defensive backs, Dalen White and Caleb Clark Glover are the cornerbacks. Justin Wimpy is the free safety. Maceo Powell is a strong safety.
Looks like we got a flag on that last play. I think they're going to call roughing the passer, possibly unsportsmanlike here.
Again, the head official tonight is John Sagers. So they'll move the ball inside the 10, out to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal with just over 10 minutes to play here in this opening quarter. Cam Good to the left side of Mitch Bolden. And the give, it goes to Good. Struggling to get to the 5, and the big push up front. In fact, the front 3 did a great job out there, partner, but it was Maceo Powell, the defensive back, who came in and gave him the loss.
Great job by the Princeton linebacker, the linebacking core for Princeton there, flowing in, recognizing where the ball is, shutting off the blockers, and getting right there in the hole for the tackle.
So no actual, well, they're going to place the ball on the 8, so technically a loss. And they go to an amended pistol. And it's Bolden off the right side. He finds nothing to get to, really. He was lucky to gain yards out to the 5-yard line to bring up a very critical third down.
See what Coach Bolden comes up with here. I'm really impressed by this goal line defense by Princeton. You'll give up really kind of 2 big plays and able to settle themselves down, collect themselves here, and force them into a really tough third and goal situation here.
Opponents on third down against Princeton this year, 35%, 13 of 37. So third and goal from the 5. They motion, and we've got, well, again, motion. False start. By the way, coming down to the bottom of your screen was Trent Lloyd. We hadn't seen him in a couple of weeks. Good to see him back in action after he got injured in week 1.
Yeah, seems to recover nicely there. Just, poor execution by Princeton jumping off sides, I believe, unless they're going to call this on offense.
Well, penalties have been an issue. And, you talked about it to your keys of the ball game.
Yeah, 15, look at it this way. Week 1, 17 penalties. Week 2, 17 penalties. Week 3, 15 penalties for Princeton. So they got to figure that out. I don't know what it is. We honestly kind of thought it was week 1 woes when we looked at the stats, and they kept going and getting worse and worse each week. So you got to be able to figure that out. Looks like they actually called that on the offense.
So motion takes them back to the 10-yard line, third and goal. With 8:30 left to play here in this opening quarter, no score, just getting underway here in Beckett Ridge, along with Kevin Zilch. I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Plus, week 4 of this high school football season. It's good in the backfield with Bolden out of the gun. And they motion Trent Lloyd to the near side. Back to pass is Bolden. He runs out of time and is dropped out at the 20-yard line. Nolan Parker, beg your pardon, 15 is Lukeman. Lukeman was in there to clean things up, and it's 4th down.
Just another great play by the Princeton defense. I'm just so impressed with their ability, and they've really done it all year long on third down, but just coming off the edge, getting pursued. Hardly anybody touched him coming off the edge there. Just another great stop for Princeton here. Now look what you've done. You force them into this massive 4th and long situation.
Looks like Tyler Bone, the lefty, will kick it. The lefty pinwheels it to the goal line, 3-0. So a 37-yarder for Tyler Bone to get this game started from a scoring standpoint. And we'll see what Princeton has to offer after this drive here.
Well, I think you got to kind of look at this. That first drive started off hot by Lakota West, and then honestly started off, I think even better with the way Princeton was able to finish that off. They were able to, settle themselves down, collect themselves, gather, and able to make a huge stop there. Those were 3 big stops on a 3rd and goal when they had 1st and goal there to start for Lakota West. So if you're Lakota West, you really wanted to finish that drive. You're happy to get points out of it. But now if you're the offense, we talked about this again, now it's time for Princeton to start fast, just like Lakota West did.
As you can see on your screen, we've got shade interspersed with the sun, so obviously we're having a little bit of a hard time even seeing it on your screen at home, much less us here in the ballpark here tonight. 3-0. 8-play drive, by the way, on that last one. That soaks up about 4.5 minutes, 4:28 off the clock. This one will carry the return man all the way back in the end zone. Jaleel Engelman, touchback. Time now for our starting lineups on the other side. First for Princeton, as we mentioned, TJ Engelman is the quarterback. He'll be flanked by a combination of Imani Steele, Tavier Lugo-Flowers, and Maurice Borden. They're getting a little bit of a timeshare at running back 3 for 2 spots. Isaiah Myers is a wide receiver, along with Riley Woods and Rodney Harris Jr. Up front, it's Yosh Younger at the tackle spot on the left side with Dirk Thomas next to him. Caleb Sparks-Matthews, the center. Philip Daniels is the right guard. And Darnell Howard is the right tackle. We'll give you the defense here after this. 1st and 10. And the keeper by the quarterback, and I think he picked up a 1st down on the first play from scrimmage. Beg your pardon, it's Borden, the running back. They go quickly to the line. And the quarterback keeping it this time, and now we got flags at the end of the play. And so while we sort that out, let's give you the defense for the home team tonight. Up front, it's Brian Henderson, Kofi Bobby, and Elijah Davis, the front three. Tyler Sparnell, Aiden Miller, and Isaiah Jones are the linebackers, and the defensive backs, a group of really outstanding defensive backs. Jair Brown and Josh Fussell are the corners. Alex Afari, Malik Hartford, and Ben Minnick are the deep safeties.
Guessing that was holding. I didn't see the officials call there, but I'm guessing that was holding on the edge there by Princeton.
Well, and that's what, that's funny because that's the thing that we're going to have to look for tonight for West to see if what they can do to literally hold the edge. First down and 20. Well, at the 20. First opportunity, and it's a completion. And a good set of wide receivers as the receiver out there. 7, Rodney Harris Jr. takes him up all the way to the 40-yard line. Coming on in to this one, Engelman was 28 of 42 for 67%, 600 yards through the air, 8 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Second, and we'll call it 2 from the 40-yard line. And the quarterback keeping it off the right edge. He has the first down and not much more. And they're going to really have to defend that edge tonight.
Well, and that's the key, and I was just kind of watching there with Lakota West. They got good penetration, but he was able to find that hole, and that's what you want in a dual-threat quarterback like this. He had basically 2 guys in the backfield on him. He was able to get out of it, find the hole, plant his foot, and get downfield. I tell you what, if they continue to do this throughout the night, it might be, it'd be interesting to see what this offense will do here.
He's run for 470 yards coming into this ball game. He needed 2. He got 4 on the last run. First and 10 at the 44. Give to the tailback. Cutting to the outside. And he gets a couple. Upwards of 6 on the play. Imani Steele, who started at tailback and started the season at the tailback spot, gets the gain.
Great job there by Imani. Being patient. He got right up on his fullback and the offensive lineman in the line and then found his lane and bounced outside of that. That's one thing you got to teach young running backs is be patient in the hole when you get the football.
Steele in the backfield with Engelman, who's been a revelation as a sophomore. And it's over his head. He's going to have to jump on it. And that's a loss on the play.
Well, I tell you one thing right now that I'm going to see what's really going to hurt Princeton is these backwards plays, the penalties, the missed snap like that. They're getting the ball down the field. They're able to convert first downs. They're able to move against this Lakota West defense. We've seen that so far, but they've shot themselves in their own foot. They keep moving back. Penalty, bad snap there. So they got to be able to shore that up if they want to continue this momentum offensively.
Malik Hartford gets credit for the tackle for a loss. 3rd and 12, a big situation, and they come. Engelman steps up, and he has spun around. He's still on his feet to the 50 and will go no further. He needed to get to about the 46 for the line again, a pickup of 8.
I'll tell you what, this kid is a true athlete at quarterback. I mean, just spinning and slicing his dice and his way through that defense. I mean, my goodness, it's just, I'm so impressed with him just in these first few plays.
And they're going to go for it on 4th down. I guess the thinking is, why go for it when you can pick up the 4? Ball's right at the midfield stripe. They need the 46. They'll pooch it instead. So not much on the punt there for TJ Engelman. You can feel like even though that wasn't much of a kick on that one, partner, the idea is, given the athleticism, he must have been a hell of a punt, pass, and kick competitor as a youngster.
Well, absolutely. And what you do there, when you have that type of threat in the backfield, that's awesome that you're able to do that. We used to do that at Loveland with Drew Plitz sometimes where we were backed up just to keep that defense guessing. And what you do actually, you force them to play their normal defense, Jeff. You don't allow them to get that star returner or just that athlete back, another athlete onto the field. So you help contain everybody down there. So, I like that play call by Coach Parker there.
So a second drive coming up for the home team, up by 3. to open up business here in Beckett Ridge. Two stalwarts here in the GMC here in week 4. Bolden out of the gun. As Princeton shows blitz right up the middle, and now the give. Here's the end around sweep. And coming back around is Brown, cutting back, looking for first down yardage. He picks up about 7 on the play. So the first play going to Jair Brown, Hollywood as we like to call him here.
Mr. Hollywood spinning through the line there. I mean, again, this is why this kid's a top recruit going to Ohio State. He's able to see the hole, plant his foot, and then does his thing inside the hole. But the biggest thing with him, he gets upfield quick, Jeff, and that's the key for any big running back in the state.
Pickup of 7 as they go twins to the bottom of your screen and twins to the top. Princeton looking to come off the edge. And Bolden will change the play at the line. 3:15 to play here in the opening quarter. He gets, and now we'll pitch it out. And it goes to Good, who has to go back for it, and now comes up forward and is lucky to get some yardage on there. He's awfully close to a first down.
Yeah, close to a first down there, Jeff, but look what you had to go through to get that. I mean, I would have personally just rather seen him run the ball up the gut. You know, when you commit to that and you're running that option play, you have to pitch the ball. You either got to commit or keep it. You cannot hesitate. Any hesitation, you're going to get a play like that almost cost them there.
Well, it was a good job by Gumbo to collect the ball. The ball was behind him on the pitch. He was able to collect himself, keep his feet, and still gain yardage. So they moved the chains. He needed 4, he got 4. Good in the backfield with Mitch Bolden. And the give, it goes to Gumbo, up the gut. He's got a first down and more, a pickup of 13 on the play.
Well, I'll tell you what, you watched the show and you saw his Pee-wee coach called him Gumbo because he can do a little bit of everything. And you're seeing that here tonight. You're going to see him on both sides of the football, but right now, very impressive. Again, getting leverage, getting downfield, and falling forward. That's a great key as a running back.
Running behind Lathan McComas on that right tackle. And the keeper by Bolden. He's in the space, out at the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, he's in the house. 41 yards on the gallop, 9-0 West.
Well, I'll tell you, we've talked about it before. When you're running these inside plays, it's not about what you do with the football in your hands, it's about what you do without it in your hands. Great play fake there by Mitch Bolden. Literally had the entire defense and myself confused there, and then he just scurries down the sideline like he's done all year long for Lakota West.
Aaron Peters will hold, and it looks like Hannah Duncan, who we got a chance to meet a week and a half ago over at Buffalo Wings and Rings. Low snap, but Duncan gets it away, and good. 10-0 here to start things off. And partner, before we get to the drive summary, you had mentioned about a lethargic start by Princeton, and that's what they've got so far.
Right now, that's what they got. Now, I will say, you got to focus on the positives right early on in this game. They're moving the football. They've shown that they can do that right now on offense. Defense, you got to stop the big play. Right now, it's those big plays that are killing them. When they get settled down, we've seen what they can do on the goal line stand there. So if I'm Coach Parker, I just got, hey, guys, we got to settle down. We know what we can do now. Now we just got to go out there and do it. And we can't shoot ourselves in the foot with penalties either.
4-play drive. It shoot up 67 yards. It took just 1:20 off the clock. The capper, the Bolden 41-yard touchdown run. Duncan the point after. And we have a 10-0 lead. A little story about Hannah, by the way. We got a chance to meet her a week and a half ago. She had talked to us about how she got on the team, and how she did that was talking to her parents. She had been a soccer player, as a youth. And she said, hey, she wanted a little bit more to do, and she jokingly said, hey, why don't you just sign me up for football? Well, Duncan's mom had taken that to heart, as we'll see a return here from the 4. Return man up to the 30, across the 30, and boy, that's a big return. Looked like Engelman, the brothers Engelman are making a big impact on this team. So to finish up the story, what was a joke turned out to be varsity play now for Hannah Duncan.
That's fantastic. Anytime that you see, a person like that who's willing to step outside of their comfort zone and go do something, be on the boys' football team as a kicker and go out there and compete and kick well. I mean, that's so impressive by her.
Ball's placed at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10, and it's a 2-score lead for the home team. You a little surprised that we see this much of a lead this early?
Not necessarily with the way that West has been working, honestly, because also of the way that Princeton's played in the first quarter alone.
Oh, and a big surge up front and good yardage on first down. So Minnick came up from a DB spot to make the tackle on the running back. And Monty Steele, and it's second down. Second, we'll call it 3. Steele again as he searches fourth. He's awfully close to the first down as we mount the clock under 2 minutes to play here in this first quarter. 10-0 here in Beckett Ridge tonight, and a full house by the looks of it. It's funny, I wish we had a view of the press box or inside our booth for you all at home to see, because if you're looking at Kevin and myself, both of us have our eyes shielded with a hand directly over on our brow. Twins to the bottom of your screen as they move Steele to the right of the quarterback, Engelman. And they the quarterback keeping it, and he has the lane momentarily, and it's a pickup of 4. So a great job of closing that one off, and it looked like Tyler Sparnell, who's a 5'11", 180-pound senior linebacker, got a chance to talk to his dad, Jim, before tonight's ball game, a big fan of Chatterbox Sports. Quarterback on the move again, and he eluded a man, but couldn't get past the second one, and I think he has the first down.
Well, they're starting to sustain a drive here, Jeff, but I think everybody's kind of waiting. Okay, don't get a penalty now. Don't get a penalty. Right now, you cannot have a penalty if you're Princeton. You cannot move backwards. You got to keep this drive going. You want to get points up on the board here as soon as possible.
40 seconds to play here in this first period. 10-0's your score. As they bring in Maurice Borden into the backfield. Single back look. This is a little different than what we saw on tape, as the quarterback eludes the rush and now takes off. Flag on the play. He's still on his feet, has the first down down the sideline. Elusive as Quicksilver, to be sure, out towards the 30-yard line. A big gainer, but let's see what the flag is.
Well, you got a holding on Princeton. And then I'm going to take a wild guess and say you have another flag over here towards the end of the run that might be a personal foul on Princeton. I'm not 100% sure. Look, we had blocking downfield. But again, here it is, Jeff. A nice sustained drive. They're chunking yards away, and now they just shoot themselves in the foot, and that's what they've done all year long. They've been able to compensate for that based off, kind of the opponents they've been playing, I think. But right now, against one of the top teams in the state, this is what you cannot do right now.
Well, here's the book on Princeton. Good athletes. Right now, not the most disciplined, as you had mentioned, but, the big guys defensively up front can get sacks, and your defensive backs can get interceptions. Those make up for a lot of ills. 1st and 10 back towards the 36-yard line with 18 seconds left to go. And they empty out the backfield. Twins to the top of your screen, triplets to the bottom. And they rush on him, and then Engelman makes him pay as he gets big yardage on it up towards midfield. And do we have another marker down on the field?
I can't tell if that's the glare or not, Jeff. I'm not sure, but, as I was kind of talking, looks like there might be another one. I think you're right. Yeah.
And we have come to the end of this first quarter. Boy, what a game so far here in this one. The score doesn't dictate it, but it's a good one to be sure. 10-0 here on Chatterbox Plus. Here in Beckett Ridge, along with Kevin Zilch. I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Plus, week number 4 here in this one. 10-0. We did have a flag at the end of the last quarter. We kind of held our breaths to see if they would run an untimed down. They didn't, and we are switching sides of the field as Princeton will attack the north end.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff, right now, this drive is indicative. I was kind of thinking to myself, gosh, how could they have been able to score all these yards or score all these points and run all these yards when they've been committing so many penalties throughout the year? And this is for Princeton I'm talking about. And really what it is when you got an athlete like TJ in the backfield there and you can rattle off those big plays, that's how they're doing it. So if they can compensate that, hey, they might have a shot here tonight.
Quarterback keeping it nowhere to go. Maybe a yard on the play. Second down, we'll call it 21. So penalties, which have been a hallmark of Princeton throughout this season, rearing their ugly head. In fact, I haven't counted a half dozen, but I think I've counted 4 so far in the first period. Second, and actually we'll call it 25. Out at the 30-yard line, Engelman will throw on second down, and he is wrapped up and dropped. Outstanding out on the front line, big number 90, Elijah Davis, a sophomore.
I mean, my goodness, the sophomore. I mean, this kid is huge down there. Great job filling the hole in there. Great speed and great footwork by him, getting off the edge, getting the ball, recognize where it is, and making the tackle.
Davis is 6 foot tall, 260 pounds, again, just a sophomore. And the one thing that we can be sure to say, even though we've not seen tape on all 3 opponents by Princeton, this is the most physical front line that Princeton has seen from an opposition. They empty out the backfield for Engelman on third down. He wants to throw, and now flush from the pocket, throws on the move, and it's high, and it's picked off out of the 45-yard line. Was that Hartford? So we get a look at this one on the replay.
Just an errant throw there. I mean, just should have never really thrown the football over to that side. Just probably should have taken the sack and, lived to fight another down. Now you give Lakota West great field position here. You know that they're probably going to capitalize on it.
So shutout football so far through the first quarter and change. And the ball will be at the 38-yard line with 10:30 left to go here in this first half. 10-0 Lakota West. Partner, if they get a touchdown here, forget about a field goal, but if they get a touchdown here, boy.
It's going to be a tough one for Princeton to come back from.
Well, we've got an official stop. So as we wait to sort this one out, as we had mentioned, Lakota West 2-1 overall this season. They've scored 102 points coming on in. Obviously, they've added 10 more, so 112. They've given up 55 points. Princeton at 3-0. They came in scoring 165 points. Now, in 3 games, simple math, 55 points a ball game. But they've given up a breathtaking 80 throughout the first 3 games.
Yeah, it's that's one thing that will be interesting. What I just saw here, though, I saw Mitch Bolden came off the sidelines. He looked like with an equipment issue. Number 2 went in a quarterback, I believe.
Well, that's Alex Safari, and if he's in there, you're going to imagine that he's going to run the Wildcat.
Yeah. Sure enough, there it is.
So run the Wildcat out of the gun, and he'll keep off the left side. Has some yardage. Decent yardage on first down. A pickup of nearly 5 on the play.
Alex Safari, the UK commit. I mean, you look at him, he's just all legs, and the speed that he has down the field. We've seen him on the offensive side of the ball. We've seen him on the defensive side of the ball. Both sides this year, a really big asset coming down to Lexington here.
They take out Richardson and Afari. They bring in the tight end, Anderson Simpson, who's a starter at that spot, and then bring back Money Mitch. On second down, it's the dummy count, and now he'll give. And off right tackle, it is Gumbo. Gumbo for a couple. Not quite to the first down, and he'll bring up 3rd and short. Glad to have you along with us here on Chatterbox Plus. While technically not our feature game is elsewhere because that's where our Chatterbox Game Day crew is at. This is 5 versus 7 in the state. Again, if you look at the AP poll. Number 5 is Lakota West. In fact, they're the highest-ranked 1-loss team in the state, and the 7th-ranked Princeton Vikings are nipping at their heels.
See if that goal line of that red zone defense comes back alive for Princeton. Boy, do they need it right now.
Well, let's see if they go up top here on 3rd and short. Mitch will throw on 3rd down, and it's complete for a first down. To Trent Lloyd. Welcome back, Trent.
Yeah, great job getting him back into the offense here. Great decision by Mitch Bolden there. He could have gone for the long home run ball. Could have taken that shot, taken that chance. Instead, he does his check down, comes down to the underneath route, picks up the first down. Now they're chunking yards away.
When Trent got hurt in the St. X game in week 1, he had no catches. So I believe this is his first of the year. He had a couple of kick returns in that game, and that's, I think, the way he got hurt. So Lakota West trying to get healthy slowly but surely. Gumbo's in the backfield with Money Mitch on first down. And Gumbo, sleight of hand off right tackle, gains some speed out there behind McComas and Fletcher to gain good yards on first down.
Just chunking it away right now, Jeff. That's all Lakota West is doing. Pounding it up inside.
Quick snap, but Gumbo again into the line off that right side. They've not gone to the left side very much so far here, and short yardage here for Gumbo. So Flanagan on the stop. We're in the red zone, in the Cincinnati Reds red zone, as the Reds visit the Cardinals, but they'll be back home next week, next Friday against the Dodgers. They give it to Gumbo again, and again, this time a little bit more up the middle and more of a rugby-style scrum here after a couple of yards.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you're Coach Bolden, you have two offensive tackles, especially Lathan McComas, which I love what he said about him. Really good. He plays with an edge. You know, he's got that little just kind of edge to him when he plays, and that's what you want in that offensive tackle. So, you know, you got two big guys on the edge to run off of. Woo, that's money right there.
8 minutes left to go till halftime. 10-0. A little surprised to see Princeton a little lethargic on offense to start things off. Against the backdrop of a very beautiful setting sun. Very pretty on your screen. Not so pretty to us here in the press box right now. And we've got a stoppage here. So while we're waiting, Princeton had come on in on offense with nearly 1,500 yards through 3 games. 1496, averaging, as you would imagine, 499 a ball game. They came in with 895 yards rushing in 3 games and throwing for 601. For Lakota West in 3 games, 918 in total yardage from scrimmage, 556 on the ground, 362 through the air. The big differences? Competition.
Yeah.
Because West had played the #1 team in the state in week 1.
Yeah, you know, competition is really everything. And I was kind of shocked when the Hamilton game for Princeton, the week 3 game last week, got canceled. They were able to go up and find Dublin Coffin. When I saw that, I go, oh my goodness, Jeff, that's going to be a really tough game. Dublin Coffin is a really good Columbus program that is a perennial powerhouse there. And sure enough, they went up to Columbus and really put a hurting on Dublin Coffin. But then you go look at Dublin Coffin, oh, they're having a really down year this year. So I do agree with you. That's a great point. You know, competition, you know, says a lot about this, and right now it's showing here on the field.
Out of the West timeout, 2nd and 7. They need the 4 for the line to gain. Bolden out of the gun. He wants to throw, and now he'll roll to the left, and he'll be dropped for a loss. A loss of 4 on the play. Anas Lukman, the linebacker, with the stop.
You know, pursuit, great job blitzing off the edge. You're getting good penetration if you're Princeton there. Again, this goal line red zone defense is really standing up to this test that Lakota West is putting on them so far here tonight. You know, another 3rd and long situation, 3rd and goal, 3rd and long situation for Lakota West.
Twins to the top side, to the right of your screen, and a single to the bottom. Bolden to throw on 3rd down, looking left for the screen. It's good! He's got an alley to the goal line! Touchdown, 16-0 West.
Cameron Good, Gumbo, do a little bit of everything. You're going to see it right here on the screenplay. What a great play. Look at the wall of offensive blockers he has to walk himself right into the end zone. Great play designed by Coach Bolden and his offensive staff there to get in the end zone for 6.
I don't think I'd call that a bubble screen. I'd call that a wall screen.
Yeah.
Aaron Peters will hold for Bohm. And the kick is away, and she is through. 6:54 left to go, and it's a 3-score lead for the Firebirds. So that drive was helped out by, as far as I can tell, a penalty on this, but as we count them back, 8-play drive, it soaks up 62 yards, and it takes as we're counting backwards, trying to do these things on the fly. 3 minutes, 36 seconds on the clock. And it's the little screen pass to Cameron Good, who looked good on the screen pass 2 weeks ago when we saw him here. He gets one for a touchdown this time.
Just a really dynamic football player. What he's able to do for this offense. And what I love about Cameron Good is when he gets into space, he's just incredibly impressive. Look at that sunset, man. How beautiful is that?
We love our videographers here at Lakota West. We get a beauty here tonight, here in Beckett Ridge. And that deserves a mercy.
Absolutely, there you go.
But a 3-score lead here in Beckett Ridge tonight for the home team. I don't know if the scoring output by West is the shocker. The shocker is the goose egg so far by the Vikings.
And again, I attribute this to them. They've just been shooting themselves in the foot all night long. Bad plays, backwards plays, penalties. You're not going to get much momentum doing that.
Engelman from the 5, 10, 15, up the middle, out towards the 20 to the 22.
One point I do want to make, Princeton has 3 kickoff returns for a touchdown this year alone. I'm sorry.
So, 1 kickoff return and 2 punts.
2 punt returns. 3 kick returns in general for a touchdown. Anytime you're able to do that and have that type of big play ability on special teams, and Coach Parker said it when we were talking to him before, and he's been preaching special teams since day one, so that might be the X factor that maybe comes into play now for Princeton, But right now, they need a sustained drive. They got to get points on the board after this drive here.
They put Engelman in the slot, Jaleel Engelman in the slot to the bottom of your screen inside of Harris. And the quarterback on a mishandle, he improvises well and gains positive yards, still on his feet. Boy, so what should have been a loss turns into a gain of 8, maybe 9 on that play.
When you're able to have an athlete in the backfield that can do that, that can take a play that's a bad play and then turn it around into something good, I mean, my goodness, you got a real golden goose back there. But right now, you got to sustain that with points, and they haven't been able to do that yet.
Second, they're going to give him the first down, and the give to the tailback, and Lakota East a little bit more up to the challenge. They really fill the lanes down there. Kofi Bobby, the first one to meet him.
That really is that's discipline and that's speed. When you have these linebackers that are able to get up in the box and fill those holes and get into those voids quick and able to see the field and see into the backfield, that's key for any big defense.
Steals in the backfield. They fake it to him, and now the quarterback rolling right, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. I mean, they really sniffed that one out on that left side. Sparnall, the first one there, and Minnick, I think, cleaned him up.
So number 11, Jacob Asbeck in there in the play there as well. I mean, just a great job there, settling down and getting pursuit. You didn't have just one player there. He over-pursued it. Right there to back him up was another Lakota West defender.
3rd and 6. So a big play here in the first half. The roll left by the quarterback, Engelman. Now he'll keep. And he is moved out to the sideline, a little short of the first down. Let's see where the spot is, because he was awfully close on that second effort.
Yeah, he was, and then he kind of took a step back. It doesn't look like they're going to give it to him here, Jeff. So it's going to be an interesting call here. What does Coach Parker do now, down 17-0? 4th and 2 situation, close to the 50-yard line. I might go for it if I'm him, honestly.
Well, you're down by 17. Right now, it feels like Lakota West has found a groove on offense. The defense has been amped up for this one all week.
Mm-hmm. All they've been hearing all week long is, TJ stats and all these great stats by Princeton. So that they're amped up. Got a timeout on the field, looks like, by Princeton. They're going to think this one over, because this is a really big decision by Coach Parker's team right now. Do you go for it? Do you do another little pooch punt like we saw? Maybe you bring in 2 plays. Hey, if you see this, we're going to go punt. If you see this, we're going to run a play. One of those type of situations. Either way, they have to do something here, I think, to kind of switch that momentum. We've seen that they can move the ball against Lakota West. We know that. Then they continue to shoot themselves in the foot. So, if they can get some type of big momentum play here, get a big first down, get that sideline, those fans amped up on the Princeton side, that's what they really need right now.
The last time these two teams met, you have to go back to October 25th, 2019 in Sharonville. The Firebirds scored 28 points in the game's final 15 minutes. They came up just short in that game. Princeton hung on for a 41-35 win, and we'll tell you some of the luminaries in this one as we progress through 4th and 2. And will they pooch punt here, or they elect to go for it? Looks like Engelman's going to get them to go. And this one, I don't know. He looks short. Big stick by Sparnall.
Yeah, great job there by Lakota West defense coming in, filling the void like they've done really all night long, and I think he's well short.
Oh, I don't think it's even close.
Yeah, they're looking at it here, but I don't think it's anywhere near it.
This is going to end up being a turnover on down. So we'll tell you a little bit more about that last time that they met while they're measuring. A couple familiar names in that one. Mitch Bolden was a freshman in that game. He threw for 2 scores. Aiden Miller, who starts as a middle linebacker for Lakota West, ran the ball 16 times, which was a game high for anybody, I believe, or a team high at least, for 70 yards. Alex Afari's older brother, David, who's over at Miami as a running back, ran for 2 scores and caught another one. And Kyle Decker's favorite player off of Princeton from a year ago, Thomas the Train Boyd, 117 yards and a touchdown for the Vikings.
I think what I heard there is what I loved is, in 2019, a lot of these players that you're seeing for Lakota West was getting that varsity time. I mean, that's just valuable, and you're seeing it pay off here right now. I mean, they're ranked 5th in the state, so Coach Bolden has this program rocking and rolling right now.
Do you go up top on play number 1?
Great question. With 4:33 left to go, might take a shot here. Definitely, you've seen it looks like they got man coverage underneath right now for Princeton, 2 deep.
Triples to the bottom. They go to the right side. Incomplete. In and out of the hands. It looks like Afari, who lined up as the lone flanker to the top.
Well, if he catches that ball, I mean, that was a rocket by Mitch Bolden in there. He catches that ball, we might be talking about 6s. He was catching that in stride down the sidelines. I mean, wow. When you see the speed, we've seen the speed multiple times here tonight and a couple of weeks ago that Afari has.
Afari comes out, and Udes Gonzalez comes in as a running back, so they'll go twins in the backfield, or at least they're going to line up Gonzalez more of an H-back here in this formation with twins to the bottom of your screen. And the give, it goes to Gumbo, and again, that big push, and that's been the surprise here tonight against the Lakota West offensive line, the defensive front in Myquise Humphrey Grace, Ty Carter, and Dante Flanagan. They've held their own.
Well, I've been really impressed with Dante Flanagan, especially his ability to get in and cause disruption. That's what he's meant to do, is get in there and cause disruption, and he's been able to get in those gaps, shed the blocks, and make tackles all night long for Princeton. They just got to get some big plays, something to get that momentum back on that sideline.
Remy's a slot to the left inside of Dwayne Richardson on 3rd down and 11. Bolden will throw on 3rd down. He throws to the right side. It's going to be short. Did he even come up with the ball, as it's caught out there, out on the right side by Lloyd?
Looks like
incomplete.
Yeah, incomplete. Was an incomplete pass. It's kind of hard to see the referee through all the white shirts over there. But so another good job by the Princeton defense there, holding the Lakota West offense. So now, again, I'm going to throw that special teams play out there. This could be, a big moment for Princeton, but nonetheless, you're going to get the ball back here with ample time to get down the field and score.
So Alex Afari will punt. He's at his own 42, kicks away, and it's a spiraling punt, a little short, but it takes a Lakota West bounce inside the 20. Down towards the 15-yard line. You're going to take that every day. The net's about 29, but it's 1st and 10 inside the 20.
A little worried there, and a coaching point for Alex Afari is you got to get that punt off a lot quicker. Number 12 coming off the edge. Honestly, if he was running in a dead sprint, they'll see that on film tomorrow for Princeton. He has a block right there. So that's a coaching point. I don't know how much we're going to see him punting back there tonight, but he's got to get that ball off a lot quicker off his foot. Otherwise, he could be looking at a block situation.
Coming up at the half, we'll talk with Lakota West Athletic Director Scott Kaufman. A lot of things going around. Obviously, this game in particular, but West has something special coming up next week. Quarterback keeping. And boy, he has room to roll. He's got a first down on first down. A pickup of 14 on the play.
Huge drive here if you're Princeton. I mean, I said it in the last drive, and they got the ball back again with time to spare. You got to get points off this drive one way or another. Whether it's a field goal or something, you got to go in the halftime locker room with some type of momentum.
14 it is. Hartford the tackle and triples to the bottom side. And the quarterback will keep it after seeing nothing on there. Reverses field. Gets a nice crackback block.
That's going to be a penalty.
And there should be a penalty on that one.
There is.
So you get this blindside block that they don't like because of the velocity of those hits. And we'll see if it is, if that's what it is. It's against Princeton. Not a surprise.
Not a surprise at all. And again, another case, you get a great positive play. And I just said they got to get points. They got to move the ball down the field. And now they're backing themselves up again, shooting themselves in the foot. And that's been the story for them all night long on offense.
By the way, this has been the biggest scoring quarter of the season this year for Princeton. Plus 60 in the differential, 83-23 against their opposition through 3 games plus. Engelman will run, and he's going to be clogged up. I don't know if he got back to the line of scrimmage. Awfully close, just getting maybe about a yard on that play.
Well, what I think I'm seeing what Princeton's trying to do is they're trying to overload the side that they're running away from, trying to get that defense to stretch into the field side and then running TJ into the boundary. I think Lakota West, though, has kind of caught on to what they're doing because they're leaving their defense pretty sanitary and pretty stationary where they're at. So that tells me right now, if you're Coach Parker, you got to do something a little different. Now we see him go with 5 wides.
Triples to the bottom. Engelman will throw, now on the run, now dumps it off, and it is complete. I believe it's complete out to the sideline there. Jaleel Engelman, his brother, on the reception.
But guess what, Jeff? Another flag.
So wave it off and they'll bring it back. As we mentioned, the number of penalties by Princeton here in this one. 49 coming on in for 433 yards. Here's the opposition. The opposition this year coming into tonight, 11 penalties total for 103 yards.
You're just not going to win many football games doing that, Jeff. You're just not. I think they've gotten lucky with the opponents that they've been playing, but so far, I mean, it has just killed them here tonight.
They back it up to the 15. 2nd and 25. Engelman roll right on 2nd down. Looking down the field, now we'll keep it. And he is brought down out at the 20-yard line. And again, good catch, a good pursuit by the linebacking core of Lakota West. Aiden Miller, I believe, was the first one to get there.
Yeah, great job there by the defense. Doing it all night long, swarming to the football, gang tackling, getting over there, making great plays, recognizing where the football is. We're in another, really long situation. Timeout on the field, I think it was taken by Lakota West. But again, I guess we shouldn't be shocked with the amount of penalties that Princeton has, committed all year long. So I guess I really shouldn't be shocked by this. What I'm more shocked about is that they haven't been able to get those big plays, which I think is their reason they've been able to recover from all those penalties in the previous game. So really good job by Lakota West right now. Really, containing TJ Engelman. I'm not going to say they've stopped him yet. And I said that as one of my keys to the game. They can't contain him. They got to stop TJ. They haven't done that yet, but they've done just enough to contain him and force him into situations.
Well, they've stopped the passing game. I think that's the big thing, right? Because when you have Harris and Myers on the outside, we've not mentioned Myers' name since the opening lineup.
That's a great point. And with these weapons, and really I was focusing on TJ's running ability. But yeah, you're right. This passing game for Princeton has been virtually non-existent all night long.
Triples to the top of your screen. Engelman to throw on 3rd down. We'll see if he's flushed or if he'll throw. He will, and it is complete to his brother Jaleel, and he is pushed back, but still on his feet. And dropped backwards for a loss. Malik Hartford was there. He would have none of it. Actually hit him initially and then dropped him here, and it'll be 4th down.
Great swarm tackling there by Lakota West. One thing I do see that they kind of need to do is they probably need to settle down at the point of attack. settle down, break down their feet a little bit more. But when you have that coaching ability, and that's just coaching right there. That's all it is. Say, hey guys, we're going to be a swarm tackling team. So that way, when somebody does miss a tackle, you have 4 or 5 other guys right there to make the tackle again.
4th and 19. The punter, who we've not mentioned tonight, is Cole Walker. 6 foot tall. They list him at as 140 pounds. He's awfully slender built, a senior. Well, I think about how much I weigh and how much I outweigh him by, so that should tell you something.
I don't even want to think about that one, to be honest, Jeff, on my side.
On 4th and 19, Walker will kick it away. He left foots it out. Brown at the 48, steps up against a double team, gains a couple of yards on the return. So 31 yards on the punt, 2 yards on the return, and it'll be a 2-minute drill for the Firebirds.
You know, we saw this 2-minute drill in week 2 when we had them against West Claremont, and we were actually talking like, do they come out? Do they run a 2-minute drill? What do they do? They actually came out and ran a really good one there to end the half 2 weeks ago. So again, we're going to see it here again. We used to call this NASCAR back at Loveland. So we're going to see their NASCAR personnel on the field here, and right now, if you're Princeton, all you got to do, you just got to keep out of the end zone. That's the biggest thing right now. You got to count that as a big victory going into halftime.
Richardson to the top of your screen. Inside of him is Ben Minnick, the track star. Bolden to throw on first down. Down the sideline. Complete! Receiver still on his feet. Goodbye! Trent Lloyd, one play does it all. 50 yards, 23-0 West. Mercy.
What a grab. I mean, my goodness. Well, what a ball placement first off by Mitch Bolden. But, I mean, unbelievable grab into double coverage. I was thinking, why are you throwing this football? Just goes up and plucks it right out of the air. Streaks down the sideline for a touchdown. My goodness, Jeff, you couldn't have drawn that up any better for Lakota West right there.
Well, they bring it back. So there's a flag at the end of the play. They're going to bring it back. They're going to take the touchdown off the board. And wherever the foul was, it was inside of the line of scrimmage. So they dropped 12 out to the 38-yard line. So I have to admit, I was looking at Lloyd on the play. Didn't see what the penalty occurred, whether it was holding inside the line of scrimmage or if it was unsportsmanlike.
Not sure, but, I was so onto that play there. With my goodness, I didn't see it either. But, now, if you're going to West again, hey, guys, we got to do it again now.
1st and 22 from the 38. And they go tight in the formation, and now a timeout, and now a flag. So I don't know if it's So it's going to be against the offense, and they've come apart here on that penalty.
Yeah, right now, definitely got to settle things down if you're Coach Bolden. Get him going. The kids in this 2-minute drill, sometimes they get really antsy. They get really amped up. Everything's moving very, very fast. They're not quite used to it. Just got to take a deep breath, settle down, work the 2-minute drill now. 1st and 27. Bolden out of the gun, wants to throw, looks deep middle. And now throws deep middle. It's caught. Jair Brown across the 50, inside the 45 to the 41-yard line. He nearly picked it all back up. Hooray for Hollywood. Here's to see if they give him the first down. Looks like they're gonna spot him right on it. Oh, yeah.
They got the second down marker, 2nd and 1. And the catch out there, it's to Lloyd. And he gets the first down as he works his way out of bounds with 47 seconds left to go.
Another great ball placement there by Mitch Bolden. I mean, to get the ball in there, get it to his receiver, great awareness by the receiver to get out of bounds and stop the clock in the 2-minute drill.
You still have a timeout. No, actually, they have no more timeouts. So everything has got to be down the field or out to a sideline. Minnick in a slot to the left. Looking left is Bolden. Now flush from the pocket and drop back behind the 40-yard line. Finishing him up was 15, Anas Lukman. Another tackle for loss for Lukman. They're going to hurry to the line with 30 seconds to go. 2nd and 16 from the 40. Bolden steps up with time. He throws to the sideline. It is incomplete. A little bit of a high toss out there for Trent Lloyd. he's got his favorite target back, so that's where it's at. And we're glad to be joined here in the press box by Scott Kaufman, who we'll have here coming up at the half.
You know, great job there again by Mitch Bolden, having the awareness to, hey, look, I'm going to place this ball. Two things are going to happen on that play. Either we catch it or nobody catches it. So that's what the mindset you got to have as a quarterback in a 2-minute drill. You cannot force your ball in there anywhere. You have to have two mindsets. Either we catch the ball or nobody catches the football.
3rd and 16 from the 40. Bolden out of the gun, looking left. With time. He had plenty of time. Now rolls left. Looks to throw on the move. It is complete. Yes, it is a catch. Out on the sideline, and it should be good for a first down.
So we call that scramble drill right there. Great job by the receivers to come back to the football. That's what you're trained to do. You can tell how well coached this Lakota West team is. That's high caliber offensive football right there. When you're able to recognize that the quarterback's scrambling, you get back to the football.
So look like Richardson on the catch, 22 on the pickup, 11 seconds left to go. You might have 2 plays here. So you got to work to the sideline or to the end zone. And a timeout by Princeton. 17-0. Again, the surprise is not the lead. The surprise is the shutout so far against the high-flying Princeton Vikings. We'll take a look at this on the replay.
Another great job, circling around, tosses it, way to come back. Again, that's what you want to have happen in that type of play. Quarterback's running around, your receivers have to recognize it, and then they get back to the quarterback and get to the sideline. So great offensive awareness by the receivers. 11 seconds left to go here. Be interesting to see what they dial up here if you're Coach Bolden.
Well, again, you're in a really nice spot where you can go skinny post, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Especially if you go triplets to one side. Or you can go post corner. And, when you have guys, in the case of like Hollywood Brown out as a split end to the left, and he's got 1-and-1 down at the bottom of your screen. Out of the timeout. Bolden the pass, deep middle, it is caught, touchdown! Did we call it or what? Hooray for Hollywood!
Jeff, not sure if your headset's hooked into the guys in the booth next to us, but you called that one right there, man. Great play. Steps up in the pocket, makes a great throw. Great job by Hollywood to get his momentum moving forward, knowing where he needs to be. Great field awareness to get in the end zone for Lakota West.
And we see Hannah Duncan out to kick the extra point. Good snap, the place, the kick is away and through. 24-0 here in Beckett Ridge. Have mercy.
Wow. Yeah, really wasn't expecting this at all. Well, I'm a little bit flabbergasted right now with what I'm seeing on the field. I think I'm more just shocked at the lack of offensive production right now by Princeton. I mean, that's just shocking. And we've seen them move the ball on the ground a little bit, but again, just goes all right back to penalties.
Officially 5 plays after the penalty. 5 plays, 50 yards. It takes 1:23 off the clock. The 18-yard touchdown pass to Brown. That's their second hookup of the year. Point after is good. Brand new score here in Beckett Ridge. 24-0. Mercy. Coming up at the half, we'll talk with Lakota West Athletic Director Scott Kaufman, who's really in tune with what's going on, obviously, in the GMC, as well as the Ohio High School Athletic Association. And he's seeing a full house here in Westchester Township tonight. So Engelman's the deep man out at his own 2. And Tyler Sparnell, Sparnell will kick things away from his own 40. He's been everywhere. He had a big stop earlier in this half that really stymied a drive and has now given them an extra advantage on the scoreboard. And it's a little short kick out to the sideline, taken at the 30-yard line and out of bounds is the return man with 3 seconds left to go.
Late flag came in on that one, Jeff, on the far sideline. Curious what this is going to be now. So
a fair catch.
It's interesting that he called for a fair catch. They didn't call it dead right when he caught it. He was able to run, which is quite unusual. So looks like we have a personal foul against Princeton.
Another penalty. And boy, those have been a killer here in terms of stopping drives. And it's not that Lakota West defense hasn't been good enough. They've been good enough.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just that when you additionally shoot yourself in the foot on offensive penalties, that's going to get you in trouble all the time.
One thing we've always talked about is, you got to stay on schedule when you're on offense. You have a schedule that you need to keep, and the score will determine what type of schedule you need to be. Anytime you have a backwards momentum play, you're getting off schedule now. You don't have those plays on your play call sheet. You're getting out of rhythm. So, it's frustrating for me watching this because I know that Princeton has the talent and the athletes to compete. It's like we've talked about. Just the penalties have just shot themselves in the foot all night.
So they'll spot the ball officially at the 28. They'll put 2 more seconds back on the clock with 5 ticks of the clock left to go. They got 2 very deep safeties, Lakota West does, back to their own 43-yard line. Engelman will throw down the sideline, and it's nearly picked off. Alex Afari, a high wire circus act out there, really putting an exclamation point here to this first half. Coming up here at the half, we'll talk with Scott Kaufman, the Lakota West AD. 24-0. Back with the halftime in just a moment. Just moments away from the start of the second half. 24-0. Number 5 leading number 7 here in the state of Ohio tonight. Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Plus. Week 4 action here in the GMC. Want to give thanks out to our crew before anything else, before we get on to some other things here, Kev. Kevin Miller, Zach Teeters in the production. Our production twins here tonight. I think that's your new nickname, by the way, the production twins. Because you guys look nothing alike, but you guys are like on my left side here very perfectly here. Our videographers tonight are Maddie Moores and Alex McClary, and they're doing a fantastic job here for us here this evening. Kev, we're about 30 seconds away from the start of the second half. Your early candidate for play of the night.
I'll tell you what I want it to be is the pass that got the touchdown that got called back by that throw down here by Mitch Bolden. But I'm going to go right back to Mitch's 41-yard scamper in the second quarter to put him up 10-0. You're seeing the dynamic movement of Mitch Bolden back there. He's got that dual threat. Now, they're a passing team. He's produced throughout the yards, but he has almost 200 yards rushing. He probably actually surpassed that now on the year. So, again, that dual threat with Mitch in the backfield, is just going to be key, and it's going to carry Lakota West in weeks to come.
Well, if nothing else, that touchdown run by Bolden did give them so-called the insurance runs, right, if you will. That's, when you go up by 2 scores, and you think about, like, in any sport that you play, when you go up by 2 scores, then you're in a pretty good spot to at least dictate tempo from being out front. And that's what they've done so far tonight as they've built and added on here in the second quarter. In fact, as we had mentioned previously, that the second quarter had been the biggest scoring quarter for Princeton coming on in. 83-23, a plus 60 in differential. They were held to zeros in the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, definitely not. That's not the case tonight for sure. They have been absolutely shut down by this Lakota West defense. One thing I was talking with a friend of mine, John Tanner, over in Pleasant Ridge, watching the game tonight. He said, "Watch out for the play action pass here in the second half." And that's what That's going to be a focus on here. Now, that's a great point for how much running they've been doing. They should implement that play action now in this second half. Again, you got to do something if you're Princeton to get that big get the momentum back on your side.
If you're Lakota West, you just pin your ears back on defense and just go attack the quarterback?
Absolutely. I mean, you got to right now. You got to make a statement. You don't let Princeton come back or gain any type of momentum if you're Lakota West. That's got to be the name of the game. Keep that pedal to the floorboard in this second half.
Tyler Sparnell will kick things away for Lakota West as they will kick towards the south end zone, or right to left on your screen, if you will. Jalil Engelman is the deep back to return for visiting Princeton, and away we go here in half number 2 as Engelman will collect at the 2. 5, 10, 15, up the middle, 20, down to the 23-yard line, and he is a home run threat. He's already gotten a kick return for a touchdown this year. In fact, as a team, they've got 3 kick sixes on the year, 2 punt returns and a kickoff return.
Anytime you're able to have that, and Coach Parker, we were talking to him, early on before the game, he's been preaching special teams from day one, and it has shown. And that's one thing that I'm interested to see if that'll come back in this game. If they can pop off a big return, that's a huge momentum shift for them.
So shades of last year's defense for this year's Lakota West squad, and it's been a bit of a time coming, and it really starts with their back 5 as we progress through this. Engelman will throw on first down. It's complete down the sideline and had 1 man to beat. Mercy, that could have been 6.
Yeah, very close to being 6. Great play call there by Coach Parker and Princeton to get that momentum going now. Now they've got to keep it rolling down the field.
Riley Woods, the speedster who is been a favorite of Andre Parker's, picks up 25. And the tailback off left tackle behind that left side. Yosh Younger at 360 pounds, and Dirk Thomas picks up 5.
They do have a big offensive line that they've been running. They ran the ball actually fairly well here tonight. It's, like I said, the penalties have really just stopped them cold.
By the way, was that the first carry for Lugo Flowers, I believe? And now he gets a second as he gets near the first down. He's about a yard short here to bring up 3rd and short.
I like the play call selection so far by Coach Parker and Princeton. They're taking the pressure away from TJ Engelman a little bit and putting it more in the backfield and the running backs now. Maybe trying to save him or just, give him a break or just do something different offensively for Princeton.
3rd and 2. Triples to the bottom of your screen. Engelman will keep as he got past Afari and got the first down out across the 45-yard line. So Afari made him sidestep back to the inside, allowed the rest of his teams to catch up to him, but not before he moves the chains. 1st and 10.
Alex Afari was a little bit out of position on that play, but again, great job playing inside out. He was able to force the runner inside to where his help was. Unfortunately, it was enough for the first down.
Well, and he's done a good job of sealing that edge, especially on that left side, as you see him at the bottom of your screen setting the edge now. Give to the tailback, and a few yards in a sustained drive right now without penalties, and I think that's the key right now.
Yeah, that is. I mean, we're all kind of sitting here waiting like, come on, don't commit a penalty, don't commit a penalty. But right now, this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Princeton. Methodical drive to start off the second half.
They hurry up to the line, twins to each side of the quarterback. He looks left, now he has take off. Up the middle, hit out at the 40-yard line, can't get any further than that. So the linebacking core was good. Aiden Miller in on that stop.
Another strong pickup here. Be interesting to see what the play call is going to be here on the 3rd and 5 call from Coach Parker. Go empty backfield.
They go triples to the top side. Engelman looking left. Flush from the pocket. Now on the run. Moving to the outside and cannot get back to the line of scrimmage. He's pushed out of bounds. Big time pursuit. Brian Henderson in there along with 11 Jacob Asbeck.
Great job by Jacob Asbeck there, seeing the play, flushing it out, getting it to the sideline, and flowing in. And again, what they created there, the Lakota West defense, they forced him to move laterally across the field, did not give up any vertical penetration from that runner there for Princeton. That's exactly what you want to have if you're the Lakota West defense.
Biggest play of the ball game right now for the Vikings on 4th and 5. Out at the Lakota West 39-yard line. They need to convert here to perpetuate a drive and keep Lakota West's offense off the field. Pistol set, Engelman looking left. Under a heavy rush, and this one is incomplete. Looking outside, I think it was Lorenzo Engelman who's out there, who we'd not call his name, and it's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, I don't know whether that was a broken play. I don't know if it was designed that way. For Princeton, at least I sure hope not, but just a really awkward, bad throw there by TJ, something that he's, really not accustomed to doing. Great job there by the Lakota West defense, kind of bend but don't break. They were able to force the ball down there. Again, at some point, this Princeton offense has got to get, some points on the board, man.
That's the second time they've turned over the ball on downs. Bolden gives. It's good. He's got a first down and more on first down, a pickup of 12. Exploding behind that left side of the line, behind the All-American Integra Shabola.
Yeah, Ohio State pickup there. I mean, he's a big boy.
And the give again, it goes to good, and you know they want to run the ball here and soak up some time. A little bit more limited there, maybe a pickup of 1.
I was just looking at the big guy, Shabola there on the left side, just absolutely manhandled his defender, power drove him down the side. I mean, this guy is huge. I mean, I saw him 2 weeks ago on the sideline. I mean, my goodness, that is a big human being. Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes, they're getting a big guy up there in Columbus next year.
6'6", 330 pounds.
Whew.
And nimble feet. They go twins to the top side. In a slot is Trent Lloyd, who has shown up big here in the first half. And the give, it goes to good. A trap play up the middle for a first down. And boy, they are really controlling the line, running this time behind Tony Curtis, the center.
Tony Curtis, they're just getting great push right now on that front edge for Lakota West. Up the middle, on the sides, no matter where it is so far this drive, they have found success. Right now, if you're Princeton, you got to figure out a way to plug those holes. Might be a Texas stun up front, do something different, blitz off the edge, something. You got to do something defensively for the Vikings right here.
Coach Bolden, as far as Tony Curtis is concerned, he called him crazy impressive in the West Claremont game a couple games ago. Led the team in knockdowns in that game.
Yeah, again, just all-around great offensive line play in that game from the left side to the right side. But, yeah, he played a fantastic game.
Simpson's the tight end to the left. And the give, it goes again to Cameron Good, and Gumbo has very little to gain, maybe a yard on that play. If nothing else, again, you're soaking up clock, and what are you doing? You're putting Princeton's offense against the wall.
Exactly, and you're putting Princeton up against the wall that you're creating, and Princeton's already put up a wall themselves with the amount of penalties that they've had. So if you're Coach Bolden right now, hey, snap that ball with about 10 seconds, shoot even underneath that. Just milk this clock. Why not, right?
2nd and 9 on the pickup of 1 by Cam Good. Another run to Good. Has the corner. He has a sideline. He turns it out to the 25, down to the 20-yard line. A big run for Gumbo.
Poorly timed blitz there by Princeton. They blitzed the edge defender off the side. Number 13 came off, but they had no back contain. You're going to see it right here on the replay. Watch. He's going to come down in a second right there, but there's no contain to back that up. And he loses contain, over pursues. Again, big run right there.
So Gumbo picks up 19. 1st and 10 at the 20 as we enter the Cincinnati Reds red zone. And Gumbo again, this time off right tackle. Behind McComas, and he picks up maybe 5 on that play. And it's been a lot of Gumbo here on this drive.
Well, he can do a little bit of everything, just like Gumbo. Good Gumbo has a little bit of everything in it. He's been doing a little bit of everything. We saw the great play on the screen pass by him early on in the first half, and now he just keeps trucking right now for Lakota West.
We'll call it a gain of 6. 2nd and 4 out at the 13-yard line, out on the right hash mark. And this time the keeper, and it's to Bolden out towards the 10-yard line, and a good stop there. Lukeman, whose name we've called a lot in the first half, gets the tackle there.
Yeah, he's played really well. Been really probably the leading them in tackles right now for Princeton. I mean, just been all over the field defensively. Unfortunately, like that right there, Lakota West has been able to find that forward momentum the entire game. May only be 3-4 yards a pop, but again, they're moving forward each and every time.
Got some help from Maceo Powell. 1st and goal from the 9. Movement on the line. The thing that I want to say before they short-circuited is this has been such a drive where they've been on schedule this whole drive up until just now. But in going towards that south end zone, partner, the thing that I keep thinking about is how does a team that's averaging 55 points a ball game, how are they on the verge of being on the wrong side of a running clock?
Wow, that's again, it's one of those things. I think we've been saying it. You kind of got to go back and look at Princeton's who they've played right now, right? And Lakota West has had to practice against those big-time teams. So I think that we're seeing that right now tonight.
Lloyd in a slot to the left. And Bolden wants to throw. The home run out to the sideline. Touchdown! 30-0.
I think this one actually might be coming back, Jeff. We got a flag, and yep, it's going to be a holding call against Lakota West.
That would have been the first of the year for Trent for Trent Lloyd. So they will bring it back. 4:37 on the clock. And while we do have a stoppage here right now, the way things have gone here in this third period, you almost feel like there should be a running clock.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with the momentum and the drive that Lakota West is putting on right now, that certainly feels that way. I mean, they just have everything's going Lakota West's way right now, except for that penalty right there.
The hold come in the backfield because it's first and goal from the 25. That's a big distance. Almost feels like a unsportsmanlike penalty. The give goes to Gumbo as he cuts back to the right. Nice step around as he picks up 5 on the play.
No, good job there. Just want to get back to the original line of scrimmage or as close as you can get to that. So you get, again, like we were talking about, back on schedule now. So now you're in a second and manageable position. You picked up the penalty yardage there. Now you're right on schedule if you're Lakota West. Interesting to see, the goal line defense or the red zone defense for Princeton tonight has probably been really one of the lone bright spots for this defense so far. Going to be see if they can hold their water here and hold Lakota West hopefully just a field goal.
Lloyd's in a slot to the left inside of Jair Brown, who has scored tonight. His second touchdown. Lloyd just saw his touchdown got taken off the board. Well, we got a stoppage and another flag coming in from the defensive backfield with 4:11 to play.
Delay a game, and I'll tell you what, from a coach, that is very frustrating because you have two big clocks on either end zone staring the quarterback right in the face. I mean, in my opinion, there should be no reason for a delay a game.
Second and goal. Bolden's back to pass, looking left, throwing, down to the side, Brown, touchdown! Hooray for Hollywood!
We got another flag there, maybe.
We'll take a look at this one.
Great ball placement by Mitch Bolden yet again, and a great grab by Jair Brown. I mean, just a fantastic job. Oh, it might have pushed off there at the end. And that's what it looks like they're going to mark it off as. Yep.
So the ball is outside the 40-yard line. This is still an and goal situation with 4:03 frozen on the clock.
Oh, second down and 40.
I'm just thinking, is it second and Sharonville at this point, right? I mean, second and Princeton? Yeah?
Yeah, right down 75. I think that's about right.
Also at the 41-yard line. Bolden's back to pass. Now steps up flushed and now will keep and loses maybe a yard on the play. Had no outlet downfield. Everybody was covered downfield as he takes a loss to bring up third.
Yeah, great job by the Princeton deep backfield there to basically shut everything down, and then great pressure off the edge by the Princeton defender. Lakota West right now, now look at them. They're the ones who are kind of shooting themselves in the foot here. They had the momentum going in there, was hopefully, had basically 2 touchdowns called back in this drive alone.
So what do you think here? A middle screen to Cam Good?
Honestly, I like that play call. I really do, because I think that's a great third long yardage play to begin with. We've already seen the success they've had on it earlier in the game.
Triples to the bottom of your screen, and Jair Brown is a flanker to the top. He looks left and now will step up in the pocket, and Bolden has room to run. Out to the 30, to the 25, hurdles a man to the 20. Well, at least you get yourself back in the field goal range.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do there, is get yourself back in a position to put points on the board. And that's what the name of the game was right there for Lakota West, and that's exactly what they did. I'm sure they would have liked to have better protection than that, because I tell you what, Jair Brown down the sideline, he was open and had to step on his defender. Mitch Bolden had some more time to throw. Oh, that's 6 going the other way for Lakota West. Tyler
Bone will get another field goal opportunity. He hit early in the ballgame on from 37 yards out. This one is also from 37, though this one going to the south end zone. Out of the hold of Aaron Peters, the lefty kicks it, pulls it to the right, inside the... No, and it's no good. He pulled it a little too much. Our view looked like it was just inside the crossbar. It was just outside of it. And we had the other way on a turnover on downs.
Okay, great job there by the by the Princeton defense. Got a big stop there. You know, if you're Coach Bolden, you are not happy right now with that offensive performance. Started off great, but then just penalties absolutely just killed him right there to put more points on the board, get to a running clock. And, you know, right now, you know, you've kind of shifted that over to Princeton.
So what was that? Officially an 11-play drive that went nowhere after an and goal situation, 2 touchdowns that were called back on penalties, and a missed field goal at the end of it. So futility was the name of the game here on that last drive for Lakota West.
And I am looking down at the Lakota West bench, and their offensive line coach is, let's just say he's not a happy camper right now. Just a little bit, you know, kind of reminds me of me down there. It's good to be in this position here, not pulling my hair out.
So a 1-yard gain on first down, Twins to the bottom of your screen. See if we get the pitch, the jet sweep, or the halfback option. They will not throw. It's Engelman as he is stuck and now has to reverse field, has nowhere to go and is stopped out at the 20. So a loss on the play.
I don't like that play. I don't like the play design. If you're going to run, you know, a halfback reverse, something like that, run the reverse. If you're going to do the halfback pass, run the pass. You know, when you hesitate like that in the backfield, that's when bad things happen on that play. So interesting play call there. Again, you know, they're moving backwards. If you're Princeton, you're now in a 3rd and long situation.
There's an old adage, it's a famous line, and I can't tell you who said it, but he who hesitates is lost.
Very much, very, very true, Jeff. Very, very true.
When you hesitate going east-west against this Lakota West defense, you're going to lose yardage. Engelman will throw, and now he's flush from the pocket in traffic, still alive, and now rolls to the near side, and steps around, runs into a man, and is taken down. There's one of the big guys up front. He's got his jersey pulled up.
I think they call that the Zeke look.
So it's Owen Kaufman, the linebacker, 6'1", 210 pounds, a senior, on the stop. Well, the Zeke look is fine and dandy. I'm a big Eddie George fan back in the day.
Yes.
However, as a broadcast announcer, not so much.
Yeah, it's a little tough. A little tough.
4th and 7 as Brown is back at his own 45. Punt is nearly blocked. It's a little duck out to midfield. It just crosses the midfield stripe out to the 46-yard line.
One thing I am noticing here, Jeff, as this game is going on, is that it's getting a little bit more chippy. I've seen it here time and time again. So when we come back, we'll take a look at that.
And we are at the end of 3 periods. A shutout being pitched by Lakota West, 24-0. Week 4 action here in the GMC on Chatterbox Plus. One more quarter to go here in Beckett Ridge, 24-0. And out of the quarter break, we've already got some issues, some official issues, a stoppage in play already.
Looks like another equipment issue. I think they're sending off the field. Now that's the second one we've seen tonight.
Jair Brown comes off. He's getting an earful from Tom Bolden.
Okay, maybe not any equipment.
And they back him up. So it's apparently unsportsmanlike conduct. And I wonder if this is another one of those word to your mother moments.
I got a sinking suspicion of that, but we were talking just about that before we went to break. You know, I think the officials kind of got to get a little control here. It's been getting a little chippy right now.
1st and 10 at the 30 after the unsportsmanlike penalty. And the quarterback keeping it off the right side, has some space. Good running, hard running by Mitch Bolden to pick up 7 on the play.
Tell you what, Mitch Bolden's a tough kid. Really, really tough kid. He can throw the ball, and with the accuracy and his arm strength that he has is unbelievable. Looks like we got another downed Viking there.
That looks like 12. Maceo Powell, the defensive back, 5'11", 175 pounds. And they really can't afford to lose anybody. But, hey, let's give Princeton some credit here. They did pitch a shutout in the third period.
You know, again, little victories like that, you go a long way. And I think that's one thing, if you're Coach Parker, you're going to have to take this night and really kind of break it down and dissect it. Okay, hey, look, here's the positive things we did. We were able to move the ball, running the ball. We got to shore up the penalties. That's their biggest thing right now. If they're going to go anywhere, want to continue to be ranked, Princeton has got to figure out the penalties.
By the way, these two teams were top 10 schools in the AP, the Associated Press, a year ago at season's end, or regular season's end, as it were. Second down. And here's good. Off the left side, across the 40, out towards the 43-yard line. So they're picking up some yardage. They're bringing up third and manageable.
Well, if you're Lakota West, just chunking away yards right now, that's really the name of the ball game for them. Just ball control, ball control, ball control.
Well, also, just melt the clock, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to score anymore. You already have more than enough points. And you could argue that right now, the way the defense for Lakota West is played, the 3 points that they got from Tyler Bone back in the first period, that was enough.
Right. Absolutely. You're 100% right on that. That was. Which is shocking. I mean, to me, that's shocking what we're seeing here tonight.
Gonzalez is in the backfield with Mitch Bolden. Triples to the bottom of your screen. Let's see if they pass in that timeout. So a timeout with 10:44 left to play here in this ball game, 24-0. Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here for Week 4 here in the GMC on Chatterbox Plus. Zach Teeters and Kevin Miller, our production twins, taking care of business for us tonight. And I'm going to give credit to where credit is due. Young Mr. Teeters, who is... he's not one to back down from me, but he is one to be very kind to me. He's taking care of me throughout this whole thing, allowing me some leeway as far as production capabilities here for our pregame show tonight, and for just making sure that we get to go on when I want to go on.
Exactly,
so
man.
I'm going to give Mr. Teeters some propers here and make sure that that he remembers I owe him a festive beverage when it's all said and done.
Oh, hey, Andy brought candy in the booth, Jeff.
Well,
I mean, come on. That's the best part.
That's the best part. See, here on this part of Chatterbox Plus, it's not just the people on the field that you get to know. It's us in the booth, for better or for worse.
Exactly.
I'm the worst one of us, by the way.
I don't know about that.
I'll have you know. Triples to the bottom of your screen as we come out of the timeout. And they motion Minnick back to the top side. Let's see if they throw to him on the 8 route. And they throw a little screen out to Minnick, and nothing doing out there, no gain.
Interesting play there. That was almost what I would call a counter screen. Mitch Bolden rolled to his right, looked like he was going to actually dump the ball off to the man in the backfield, then turned back, threw the screen pass into the boundary. I'm not a fan of throwing screenplays into the boundary just because the one thing you need on a screenplay, Jeff, you got to have space to move and run. So I always like calling that to the field side, but Coach Bolden saw something there. Unfortunately, just didn't work out for him.
Riley Woods is back to return. He's at his own 25-yard line. Let's see if that's Afari at his own 30. It is. So the ball is placed on the 44. Afari will kick it away. A high tumbling kick as Woods calls everybody off, and it takes a Lakota West bounce, and a favorable one it is, out towards the 22-yard line. So 34 yards, nothing on the return with 9:48 left to go. And I think the only mystery right now that needs to be solved is to see if Lakota West can pitch a shutout against a team that came in averaging 55 points a ball game.
And you and I had talked about this earlier in the week. I don't care who you play. When you average 55 points a ball game, and that's a lot, and you're putting up big offensive numbers, I think the biggest thing for me tonight, what Lakota West may be able to do, is maybe shut down that big play capability that Princeton has been showing all year long. It's the only way you're able to score those type of points and commit the penalties that they have this year.
Twins on each side of the quarterback. Single back, and now the quarterback, Engelman, will roll off from the pocket. A head full of steam across the 30 to the 34-yard line, a pickup of nearly 7.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to, that might have been kind of an option play for him. Looked to the screen play on the field side here, saw that it was covered up, decided to take it himself along the right side.
And they go quickly to the line, second down. And the give goes to the tailback. Did he get back to the line of scrimmage? I'm not so sure. 24, and I don't think we've called 24. Tavier Lugo Flowers, he did get in the ball game in the third period, and he gets an official carry here.
Big hit there by Alex Afari. Great job by him coming downfield and really really hit the kid there. I mean, this kid is going to be a great athlete for the Wildcats come next year.
3rd and 2 as we melt the clock, under 9 minutes left to play. And the counter give, and it should be good for a first down off the left side. And a good second effort there. Was that Lugo Flowers? No, that was 1. That was Bolden. So Bolden gets the pickup. Needed 2, got 5 on the play, and moved the chains.
Yeah, it looks like Princeton's going to start distributing the football around, and now they're in that hurry up again. Here we go.
1st and 10 at the 40. And motion on the line. Or a timeout. I think the near linesman had called for the TO an official timeout just to settle things down. 8:37 to go here in this ball game. 24-0. It's been West from the very beginning to our current point of this contest right now. Not sure what the discussion is. We do see Ben Minnick talking with the back judge.
Might have been one of those situations where you got to give the defense time to get subs in and out. So I think that might have been it that Lakota West. Oh, actually, I see it right there. We had a Lakota West player down. We couldn't see him right there. He just popped right back up, literally right there on the 50-yard line. It was obstructed right there, but that was the stoppage.
So we'll resume action, 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Clock's moving with 8:34 to go. They motion Bolden, and now the quarterback keeping off the left side. Has some room out to the sideline. Pulled backwards, and a pickup of maybe 4, and a good job just literally holding him up out there on the sideline by the West defensive backfield. And we see a West linebacker, it looks like 32, Owen Kaufman, come up a little gimpy at the end.
Yeah, players kind of getting a little gimpy right now, hobbling around a little bit for Lakota West. If you're Princeton right now, you want to keep this momentum, trying to get something going here, get the ball down the field.
2nd and 6 on the pickup of 4. The give to Bolden, Bolden, and he picks up 2 on the play. And again, we are seeing a little bit of limp here and there. So Elijah Davis was in there first.
One thing, I think for Lakota West, they've done a great job containing these athletes that Princeton has in the backfield, but they are also, these Vikings backfield players are just moving their feet incredibly fast, juking, jiving. That's hard to sometimes contain.
3rd and 6. They motion steal, and now the quarterback stuck. He throws over the middle. It's complete. Out to the 45-yard line. And that is 7. 7 is Rodney Harris Jr. Was that his first or second catch tonight?
Looks like it might have been his first. I think that might be the first time we've called his name tonight.
Triples to the top side, and he has been a good one. Engelman flush from the pocket. Now cuts through the middle. Has some space on the near side and is brought down. Good job of staying at home by the Lakota West defense.
Going back to that, we have, it's amazing to me. Rodney Harris, 7 receptions, 135 yards, 3 touchdowns on the year, been virtually non-existent here tonight. Isaiah Myers, 7 receptions, 191 yards receiving for Princeton. Again, virtually non-existent. Great job by this Lakota West backfield.
Here's the pitch out, and it's loose! The ball is out! Up before the 50, out to the 45. Let's see who has it. I think it's going to stay up front, and a big loss on the play. It'll stay up front, and a loss of 13.
Go back and take a look at the replay here, and, again, just lost the football there. I mean, that's another backwards play for Princeton. That's been the story for them all night long. That's got to be incredibly frustrating for Coach Parker. Like I said, I've coached against him when he was at Winton Woods for years, and this is just very uncharacteristic to have these many backwards plays, penalties for his type of team. He's got to be frustrated.
By the way, we're seeing something a little different defensively here. Like, we've seen Alex Afari guard the corner, the edge, Now he's playing a little bit more of a defensive back spot, and now we've got a flag.
Well, I think what you see there with Alex Afari, you see the versatility that you show. And again, we were talking about him in week 2. He reminds me a lot of that Sam Hubbard type player where he can play as a safety, come down in the box, play as a linebacker, get down the line. We've seen him at defensive end tonight, causing wreaking havoc. So, a really multi-dimensional defensive player, which, again, University of Kentucky is getting a really special athlete. They'll put some weight on him, and a couple years you're going to see him on the field on Saturdays.
Well, when we had the West Firebirds show a week and a half ago, I'll tell you about it after this play. 3rd and 25. Engelman to throw on 3rd down, and it is caught, and the receiver pushed out of bounds, nowhere near enough for the 1st down, a pickup of, I think, 14 on the play. So Harris picks up his 2nd reception here on this drive. So we had talked, both Tom Bolden and I, we had talked about him and compared him to a longtime Cincinnati Bengals safety and David Fulcher. Here's Engelman on 4th down. He is checked down from behind. And another turnover on downs.
Oh, it looks like we had a late flag come in there. Might be getting a little chippy on that Princeton sideline.
Well, we do have a congregation there, and I don't know who they're preaching to.
Yeah, I see a lot of Lakota West coaches. They're trying to figure it out, get off the field. Coach Bolden's telling everybody, get back. Right now, this is where Coach Bolden's got to kind of take control of this, get the assistants off the field. There's only one guy who says anything to a referee on a sideline. That's the head coach. Everybody's fired up right now. Just got to maintain, settle everybody down, calm everybody down. But again, I was really happy to see Coach Bolden there turn back to his staff, say, hey, get off the field. I'll handle it. I'm the head coach. Let me take over here. And you can see he's giving him an earful right now walking back.
Owen Kaufman, I believe, had the stop, and now you're still seeing the head bobbing here for Coach Bolden, which means that he's stating something pretty strongly.
Yes, I'm sure he's asking his men there to please kindly stay off the field and refrain from saying anything to the referee. Of course, I think I subquoted that quite a lot there, but nonetheless.
Well, I'm going to share something here with you. Well, let's see where we go here. So, after the play, right after the turnover on downs, you have the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against visiting Princeton, and it's 1st and 10 at the 37. Let's see if they go up top here. Hard to imagine that they would, but let's see if they do. Out of the pistol set, the pitch out. The running back taking it up to the 32. A little extra effort there.
My goodness, he called a flag from there. The side judge on the far sideline threw a holding flag when the play was going away. My goodness.
So that negates the 5 or 6 yard carry by Gonzalez, and we do head backwards. So there is a 2-step forward, 2-step back mentality. Are you familiar with the Paula Abdul song, Opposites Attract?
Yes, I have heard that one. Yes, absolutely. And that's exactly what it's been, though. It was Princeton in the first half. They kind of continued, but now Lakota West is the second drive this half where they've kind of done that. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. So Lakota West has a lot to kind of clean up here if they want to continue, especially when they get in the heart of the GMC conference.
1st and 20, and the give to Gonzalez on a stutter, a little trap up the middle for maybe 3. So I think they're content now to run out the clock if Princeton will let them. I don't know if that's a big if right now. I think if you're Princeton, I'm not saying that you want to pack things up and go home, but with under 4 minutes to go and your offense showing no heartbeat all night, you might want to just think about next week.
Well, that's one of the hard things to do as a coach. I think you don't ever want to necessarily show your team that, but definitely, in the back of your mind, you want to keep the players safe and healthy going. This is only week 4. There's a lot of football left to play in this season for Princeton.
Gonzalez explodes for 10 plus out to the 30-yard line. And do we have a turnover at the end of the play? Did he lose the ball? It apparently came out.
Well, I'm looking at the Princeton sidelines. A bunch of their coaches are saying, assuming that's their football, it was kind of obstructed from where we are.
It was right into the scrum. If the play stands, it will be a 13-yard gain. And I think we're seeing from the line judges that it will stay up front with 3:28 to go. So this one's been long decided, despite the fact that we've not had a running clock in this one. The way Lakota West has played the second half, you think they would have played with a running clock. That's how good they've looked on defense tonight.
I mean, that third quarter just went by in a blink of an eye, honestly. But the way this, both teams have been running the ball, I think Princeton was just trying to find an identity on offense there. Their first couple drives in the third quarter, and we're never able to find it. But when you commit that many penalties, it's really hard to find an identity.
So that was the biggest gainer this year for Gonzalez, who came into the ballgame with 22 yards, 3rd and 6. Another give to Gonzalez off right tackle, and after a couple, he's pushed backwards. Running behind McComas, but nothing doing, and it'll be 4th down. Partner, I think if you're running some clock here and milking it down towards the end of the play clock and then converting this 4th down, you can just run out the clock at this point.
That's that should time up just about right there. And that's part of that schedule that the offensive coordinators want to keep. You want to stay on schedule, and that clock and the score determines your schedule. Unfortunately, what kills your schedule? Plays like that, backwards moving plays and penalties.
Twin Stage side, Bolden will throw on 4th down. He throws the home run out on the sideline, incomplete out at the 10-yard line. No flags.
I will say this. Great job by the West receiver. Actually turned himself into a defensive back there. So basically what he did there was he had to play DB, and now, basically stopped probably a potential interception. At least that's what he saw. Great awareness there.
Well, there's good reason for that, because the intended receiver turned defensive back was a defensive back, Ben Minnick.
There it is. Absolutely. So, when you're able to have those players that can learn both sides of the football like that, that just creates those, superhuman football knowledge guys that are out there. That's great, and that was great awareness there by Ben Minnick.
1st and 10 at the 31 with 2:03 left to go. The only thing that we're missing is the final score. TJ Engelman came in leading the conference in passing with 601 yards. He may take a hit tonight as far as their rankings in the GMC is concerned. They motion Steele to the top side, and they set up a middle screen, and they blow it up. Oh, Alex Afari, have mercy, out at the 30-yard line, a loss on the play.
My goodness, what a hit. Alex Afari all night long. I tell you what, just a great all-around athlete. You're going to see him here. Just reads this, point blank, snuffs out the screen, and then just, pile drives him into the ground.
I can't wait to hear the comments of Tom Bolden after this game.
Oh, I know, absolutely. And I got a sneaking suspicion he might not be the happiest camper, because there are some things out there tonight that I saw, and just knowing what type of coach he is, he's going to have some things that they need to work on for sure. But again, all around great performance. Definitely got a few things to clean up if you're Coach Bolden, though.
Quarterback keeping for the 1st down, Jacob Asbeck on the stop.
You know why that is, partner? Because as coaches, we're never satisfied. No matter what the scoreboard says, we are never satisfied. You're always going to find something to improve on.
And we have a down player, and it may be the quarterback.
Ooh.
And you don't want this here with 1:05 left to go in a game that you're losing by 3+ scores.
Yeah, Coach Parker walked out there. Anytime you see the head coach walk out, that's usually not a good thing. And hopefully he gets up here.
He might be done for the night, and that is the quarterback. And we'll see who takes snaps. We did ask point blank how Mekhi Lynn was doing to Coach Parker. He was fairly mum on that, keeping it pretty close to the vest.
Sure.
Basically telling us that he is progressing every day. I now have to ask if every day is now today.
That's a great question. I don't know where his status is. Obviously, he was pretty tight-lipped about that in the pregame. So, we don't know. But, the Buffalo commit right now, Princeton can definitely use him out there to take the pressure off TJ Engelman. You know what I mean? TJ Engelman's been kind of their whole team. They need to have some compliment off of that.
Running back gets it. Let's see who the new quarterback is. 12. 12 is Masio Powell, who is a starting defensive back on this team, as we had mentioned before. 5'11", 175 pounds, and a senior. As we melt the clock under 30 seconds, I would imagine this will be the final play of the game, so long as it's a play that ends in bounds. Imani Steele is the running back next to the new quarterback, Powell. And Powell will throw, and it's complete out to the far sideline to Engelman, who has a first down as he matriculates his way up across the 40-yard line. And that should be it. So Jaleel Engelman gets the final catch. Well, let's see. They do continue melt the clock, and this one is finally over. That's the way it ends. A shutout. 24-0 tonight as Lakota West flexed its defensive muscle, turned back the clock a year, pitching at their first shutout of the year and giving Princeton, a high-flying team coming in, averaging 55 points a ball game, their first loss.
Well, I think, one thing when you look at this game as a holistically, right, Jeff? I think what you saw is Princeton really, just was outmatched from start to finish on this game. Really, from start to finish, it was just purely outmatched on all facets. And every time that you thought Princeton was going to get some type of momentum, they shot themselves in the foot. And I know I sound like a broken record throughout this game, but if you're Coach Parker, you've got to figure out a way to control the penalties. I mean, it's one of those things I'm almost kind of speechless about it. And looking at their previous games and the opponents, I can now see why they scored so many points so quickly. They have that big play ability. Great job by Lakota West tonight shutting down that big play. I mean, we did not call Rodney Harris's name or Isaiah Myers to the top receivers in the city. Didn't even call their name hardly at all tonight. So that's just a testament to how tough this Lakota West defense is. On offense for Lakota West, Mitch Bolden did his thing. My play of the game is still that 41-yard stamp by him set the tone for this ball game from start to finish in the second quarter for Mitch Bolden. So, again, what I will say is this, though. In the second half, their offense for Lakota West definitely sputtered and kind of shot themselves in the foot. So that's why I think Coach Bolden is probably going to go, hey, guys, great win. We have some stuff to work on because it doesn't get any easier moving forward for Lakota West.
An outstanding defensive effort tonight. Can't wait to find out what the final total yardage allowed was tonight. How did your keys to the ball game work out?
Well, you look at for Princeton, well, they definitely did not control the penalties. So that's, we'll put that one in the minus column. They did not start fast, another minus. And, honestly, they really didn't contain the Lakota West offense at all. Lakota West pretty much moved at ease up and down the field all night long. The only time Lakota West was really stopped was when Lakota West stopped themselves. So, really, you got to put a big minus on all three keys to the game for Princeton. For Lakota West, they shut down TJ Engelman, but what they did with him, I'm not going to sit here and say they totally shut him down. They contained him on the running game. They shut down his passing lanes, and that's key. When you can shut down two of the top wide receivers in the city stat-wise, and, all night long from start to finish, that's just too impressive. They took advantage of Princeton's mistakes, and I think they got the ball in the hands of a lot of different players here tonight as well. We took a look at the total yardage for West, 329 yards of total offense, 215 for Princeton. So literally more than, less than half of what they normally put out tonight. A true testament to this Lakota West defense.
In fact, 215 yards on 51 plays. So you're looking at just about 4 yards a play tonight for a team that was averaging somewhere near 10.
Right. And then the other big stat, they're averaging 55 points a game, shutout here tonight. So again, Princeton has a lot of work left to do. I do think they have the athletes. I do think they have something there. We'll be interested to see what they do down the stretch in the second half of the season.
Let's run down the scoring here real quickly to wrap things up. West got on the board first, and this was all they actually ended up needing. 7:27 left to go in the first. Tyler Bone, a 37-yard field goal that capped off an 8-play drive, 52 yards, time of possession, 4:33, 3-0. Your play of the game, Mitch Bolden from 41 yards out. Capped off a 4-play, 67-yard drive. With 2:19 left to go in the first. Time of possession, $140. Hannah Duncan got the point after, and it was 10-0. Then Cameron Good, a 16-yard pass from Mitch Bolden. Bone got the point after with 6:54 left to go in the second, 17-0. And then with 5 seconds left to go, Hollywood Brown, an 18-yard pass from Mitch Bolden. Duncan got the point after. And the final score tonight, 24-0. Final thoughts on this one?
Final thoughts moving there. Lakota West defense, very impressive. That's going to win them a lot of ball games down the stretch. Very anxious for that. Honestly, I'm really anxious for that Week 10 matchup against Lakota East. We saw them last week. So really, that's going to be my honestly, probably game might be of the year in the GMC will be that Week 10 closer. Two really good teams. Anxious to see what Lakota East finished out tonight with. But again, on the Princeton side of things, they got a lot to work on. They got a lot. And their schedule, unfortunately, just doesn't get any easier moving down into the GMC. So for Coach Parker, it's going to be a big discipline day tomorrow because, 9 penalties tonight, which is actually the fewest that they've had all year long. And Lakota West even had 9 penalties. So they got some work to do on that front as well. But unfortunately for Princeton, those penalties came right when they're getting the momentum going, right when they're starting to get first down, boom, 2 penalties in a row. A fumble, those type of things. That's just going to kill them all year long if they don't shore it up some way, somehow.
Partner, an interesting one to be sure, though not the game that I think you and I expected, but a shutout as we, again, went back to the future, if you will, as we saw the Lakota West basically show symbolism of their 2020 defense by pitching a shutout tonight, their first of the year, 24-0. Thanks, partner. We'll see you in Week 5.
Absolutely.
Thanks go out to our crew tonight. Alex McClary and Maddie Moores, they gave you the video work. Our production team of the Production Twins, Kevin Miller and Zach Teeters, they took care of business for us. Again, the final 24-0 in a game that took 2:23 to play. For Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim, as we bid you so long from Beckett Ridge.